What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we are going to talk about an article that came out in Gallup. Remember, if you watch this channel, you know I keep telling you, man, the tide is rising, and the public opinion of labor unions is becoming more and more positive, where it wasn't always so. Well, right now, today, an article out of Gallup says U.S. approval of labor unions at highest point since 1965. Let's get into the article. I'm just going to read straight from it and then comment as we go. 71% of Americans now approve of labor unions. 71%. Although statistically similar to last year's 68%, it is up from 64% before the pandemic, and is the highest Gallup has recorded on this measure since 1965. These data are from Gallup's annual Work and Education Survey collected August 1st through the 23rd. The latest approval figure comes amid a burst of 2022 union victories across the country, with high-profile successes at major American corporations such as Amazon and Starbucks. I talk about that labor fight a lot. The National Labor Relations Board reported a 57% increase in union election petitions filed during the first 6 months of fiscal year 2021. What does that mean? That means it's a 57% increase in companies that have workers filing for union elections. That's crazy. That's amazing. That's great. Support for labor unions was highest in the 1950s, when 3 in 4 Americans said they approved. Support only dipped below the 50% mark once in 2009, but has improved in the 13 years since, and now sits at a level last seen nearly 60 years ago. We're in a tide shift. Get involved. We are in a tide shift, and it's a good thing. Get involved. About 1 in 6 Americans live in a union household. 16% of Americans live in a household where at least one resident is a union member. This includes U.S. adults who report that they themselves are a union member. That's at 6%. That's not a big number. It's not a big number at all, and we need to grow that number by winning these elections and getting CBA agreements. 6% is not big enough. At the height of union activity, it was at 35%. 6%, 35%. You see what I'm saying? Society was different back then. It can be so. Keep on fighting. Those who say someone else in their home is a union member is at 7%, and those who say they and someone else in their household belong to unions, that's at 3%. Total that up, they're at 16%. Union household, the net 16% union household figure is within the 14 to 21% range Gallup has recorded since 2001. Gallup also polled union members and non-union members on June 13th through the 23rd. In a separate online Gallup panel survey about union membership. Membership is highest among frontline and production workers, of whom 1 in 5, or 20%, are union members. About 1 in 10 workers in healthcare and social assistance, 13%, white-collar positions, 11%, and administrative and clerical roles is at 10%, are union members. Workers in managerial roles, 6%, are the least likely to be members of unions. Now, the PRO Act seeks to reconcile that with lower level management, those who do managerial duties, and so right now they are excluded from being union members, but are not so high up in the managerial ranks that they that people would say they shouldn't be a part of a union. You know, they're not managing an entire fleet of people or divisions or whatever. Anyway, that's besides the point. 2 in 5 union members say membership is extremely important. 2 in 5, that's not high enough. If you're a union member, it should be extremely important. You get too many benefits to be sitting there acting like you being a union member isn't a great thing. Stop it. Among union members, 2 in 5, 40% rate their membership as extremely important or as a 5 on a 5-point scale, with another 28% rating it at a 4. That puts us at 68%. Still not high enough. If you're in a union, you should support that union. You should be all about it. In contrast, just 1 in 10 rate it as not important at all, a rating of 1 on the scale. Union members were also asked which of various potential reasons for joining a union are most important to them. I wonder what the top reason would be. Any guesses? Their top answers are better pay and benefits. Duh. 65%. And employee rights and representation, 57%. More than a third of union members cite job security at 42%. If you're in a union, job security isn't something you should be too concerned with, because we're not married to the job. We're married to the union, and we get our work through the union, and we're supposed to cycle through jobs. More than a third of union members cite job security, 42%, and better pension and retirement benefits, of course, 34%, as reasons for joining a labor union. Meanwhile, about 1 in 4 list improving the work environment, 25%, and fairness and equality at work, 23%. That's not high enough. Again, we need to do better, but it's still higher than I expected. Few members select health and safety. That's probably because we don't talk about it enough. Union jobs are safer jobs. Union jobs are healthier jobs, and union jobs actually give you an avenue to address problems that are health related and safety related, and they give you an avenue for you to correct those things through contracts and negotiations. Or unions having a positive effect on the country, 5% as reasons to join. Most non-union workers disinterested in unionizing. While many union members truly value their participation, those who are not members don't generally feel they are missing out. That's because ignorance is bliss, baby boy. Ignorance is bliss. Get out the fog. A majority of non-union workers in the U.S., 58%, say they are not interested at all in joining a union. About 1 in 10 say they are extremely interested at 11%. That number needs to flip. Bruh, you are a worker bee. You should have a contract. You should have a contract. It's silly to not have a contract. You got no power in your workplace. Get yourself a contract. Find yourself a union. Fight for your right to party. Let's go. Engagement higher among non-union workers, but flight risk is greater. I believe that. Union members' attachment to their union does not carry over to their jobs. Rather, the data show that workers who are union members are less engaged at work, 27%, than are non-union members, 33%. Gallup defines employee engagement as the involvement in and enthusiasm of employees in their work and workplace. The engagement gap between union and non-union workers could be significant to employers because highly engaged employees tend to be substantially more productive, less likely to leave, and safer at work than their less engaged counterparts, and they tend to have better personal well-being. On the flip side, about 1 in 4 union members are actively disengaged at work, compared with 17% of non-union workers. Actively disengaged employees are not just unhappy at work, they tend to be resentful that their workplace needs aren't being met and often act out their unhappiness. Union workers are less of a flight risk for employers, however. They are less likely to be actively looking for a new job than are non-union workers. Do you know why? Because union workers believe in improving their workplace. So of course they're going to complain when things are not right at work. Of course they're going to be disengaged. You know what your role is as an owner, you dodo bird? Correct the situation. I was once told by a foreman long ago. He told me, all a journeyman needs is the tools, the material, and the information, and then get the hell out of the way. And I find that to be true. All a journeyman needs is the tools, the materials, and the information, and then get out of the way and let them do their job. Most people want to do their job. But when you sit there and provide terrible conditions, you want me to be motivated to do a quality job while I'm working in shit? That makes no sense. Who the hell wants to work in shit? None of us are pigs. Duh, clean up your mess. Provide a decent workplace and we can talk. Until then, shut the hell up. We're fighting for a better contract. God, man, I don't. And why would we leave? Why would union workers leave? Why would we leave? We're trying to do the work. We just want you to hold up your end. Don't get mad because we ain't suckers for you. Bottom line, this is the bottom line of the article, not mine, but bottom line. The low unemployment rate that developed during the pandemic altered the balance of power between employers and employees, creating an environment fostering union membership that has resulted in the formation of unions at several high-profile companies. While already on an upswing, public approval of unions has only increased further during the pandemic and is now at a level not seen in nearly 6 decades. We fighting and we winning, baby. Many union members greatly value their membership, with most naming benefits and employee rights as key reasons for joining. But for all the membership benefits they enjoy, that this doesn't necessarily translate to employee engagement among unionized workers. It is not clear, however, whether lower engagement among unionized employees is a result of dissatisfaction they harbored before joining a union, or if joining a union foments tension between workers and their employers. Of course it creates tensions between workers and employers when employers are trying to get away with everything. Of course it does. Again, we're not pushovers in a union. We fight. We don't play that game. Stop it. It is a challenging environment for employers, and many are pushing back against unionization efforts despite unions' improved public image, because employers have always fought against unions. They've never wanted us to be a part of their contract. They've always wanted to exploit workers, and they always will. So don't be an exploited worker, join a union. While most non-union workers are uninterested in joining a union, an increase in unionization efforts is still taking place, and employers of these unionized workers will need to find ways to improve their engagement. Yeah, don't fight the tide, just work with us. Because if you work with unions, you're going to have a better job, more better safety outcome, better product outcome, and we're always on time and within budget and with the highest quality install. Get yourself a union. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, drop a comment, let me know what you think, and share. Sharing is caring, so why don't you try some caring? Anyway, fight's not left and right, the fight is up and down, and it's going to take solidarity to win always. Each one, teach one, get out there and reach one. Peace.